A couple weeks ago, Insta360 asked me if I wanted to review the Insta360 Go 2. So I said sure, but this is not a paid review. They're not paying me at all. In fact, they specifically told me to give my honest review on it, even if it's bad and good. So let's go ahead and check out this interesting little camera. The action camera is basically the size of my thumb. Now, you're probably saying, Mark, come on, be real. What kind of quality can you expect out of this? So this is the quality that you can expect out of this tiny little camera. You get 1440p resolution at 50 frames per second, or 1440p at 30, or 1080p at 50, and 1080p at 30. So you get a nice little variety of what to record with. Now the coolest thing about this little camera is the 300 degree or 360 degree, man. That was going so good and I messed it up. The 360 degree horizon lock. So once you hit record and then you are doing something and the camera maybe shifts to a different position, or maybe if you just spin it around, or maybe you're mounting it upside down or something, the horizon is always going to be leveled. That's insane. That's amazing. And here's how it looks whenever you are doing that. Again, it's just crazy. So how's the stabilization? Hopefully it's good. I mean, I know it's good because walking is just not going to kill this camera at all. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and go for a little run. I'm not going to do anything special. I'm just holding the camera in my hand. I'm not trying to stabilize it. So let's go for a quick run. So how was the stabilization on that? I already know it's probably gonna be really good. The downside to this camera is that it is really heavy, guys. Really heavy. No, guys, this thing weighs 1 ounce. That's 28 grams. So you can probably imagine if you put it on the pendant or even on the hat with the clip that comes with the camera as well, you're not going to feel this. In fact, when I do have it on that little pendant, I honestly forget it's there. It is mind-blowing how light this is. As a quick comparison, the GoPro Hero 10 is 5.3 ounces, which is roughly 150 grams. This is 28 grams, so big difference. So now I'm going to put the camera on my hat for a hat POV. This actually comes with the camera itself, and I think that's awesome. By the way, it is very windy right now, so if you guys can still hear me, I'll be very impressed, because this thing only has one microphone on it. I do have wind cancellation turned on, so we'll see how that is. But now, let's go to the hat. So how's the stabilization when the camera is on something a little more gyroscopy, such as your head? There is only one physical button on the camera, which is here on the front. You can customize what a single press does or what a double press does according to your own liking. Scratching a camera lens can make any grown man cry. Trust me, it's rough. But not to worry with the Insta360 Go 2, because the camera lens actually comes off. So if it does get scratched or damaged, well, you just slip on a new one and that's it. So now I'm going to put the camera on this little pendant. You guys will see what that is later in this video. And here we go. It is currently on the pendant, sitting on my chest. And you get this little unique point of view, as if you're playing a video game or something like that. And it also looks like I'm talking to myself, but that's cool. That's cool. I just don't want to go to the loony bin. Now, when you have this on the pendant, it's not really recommended to run, because obviously your shirt is also bouncing around. So running with the camera on the pendant is possibly the worst case scenario, because it's just not going to look good because the camera is just bouncing around everywhere. But let's go ahead and test it out anyway. The camera itself is only part of the package. The other part is this AirPod style carrying case and controller, which helps charge the camera as well as change between video modes and photo modes via the small screen. The case does have a mini tripod built into it, so you're actually also gaining some usable functionality from it as well. On the bottom of the case, you'll also see a tripod mount along with USB-C for charging the case and the camera. This camera also has something called time shift, which allows you to do something like this. The camera itself is IPX8 waterproof, which means you can go down to 13 feet underwater or roughly 4 meters. The case is not waterproof, so if you're going swimming or whatever and you want to record a little bit of underground footage, don't record like this, okay? You don't want to do that. Instead, you just take the camera out, hit this button to record or whatever you set that map to, and that's it. And yes, by the way, as you guys probably saw, this does magnetically attach itself into the case. But the cool part is that the case itself is not magnetic. The actual camera is magnetic. So what does this mean? That, ladies and gentlemen, means you can attach this to any metal surface. And for those of you who don't really like vlogging out in public, I don't blame you, man. It's a little different to be holding like a massive camera and just walking around. You know, it attracts attention, and sometimes if you're trying to record something inconspicuously, the last thing you want is attention. This thing is so small that you don't even have to put your whole hand out to get your entire, you know, upper half in the picture. You can hold it pretty close to you. Like right now my elbow is bent about 90 degrees, and I'm pretty sure you guys can still see all of me. So it's very good for those of you who like to vlog but not attract attention to yourself, which again to most is very important. And as you can imagine, that increases the flexibility of this camera by a lot. As with any Insta360 camera, the other part of the magic comes from the app itself. In the app, you can customize the video modes, but you can also even edit the video as well. You can actually change between wide, action, linear, and narrow after you've recorded. This is awesome because if you've accidentally set this to wide and then you hit record and then you get home and you're like, damn it, it was supposed to be set to a narrow or linear. No problem. You just open up the application and you change it to whatever you want. But it doesn't stop there. This thing just keeps coming packed with full of features. You can also change the aspect ratio. So for example, if you're recording in narrow for YouTube, you can also use that same footage on Instagram stories by selecting 9:16. So how awesome is that? You still get the amazing quality, and now you can do whatever you want with it. You want to put it on Instagram stories? Go right ahead. You want to put it to YouTube? Go right ahead. That's dude, the flexibility from this thing is what sells it. That's it, man. It's amazing. So what about battery life, storage, and cost? The cost of this camera is $270, and for that you do get 32 gigabytes of internal storage. It also has a 64 gigabyte storage option, which I have here, for $330. The battery life with just the camera itself is about 30 minutes, but if you slap it into the charging case, that increases it to 2.5 hours, or roughly 150 minutes. Now that's cool. In my opinion, this little camera is slightly overpriced. But on the flip side, I can also understand why this is priced the way it is. You do get features here that no other action camera has, and to some, that is more important than price, for example. Just to recap, this can go on any metal surface. It's extremely lightweight, and the ability to change focal lengths and aspect ratios even after recording. And also, not to mention the sweet accessories that comes with it, such as this sticky mount, which can be reused by just washing it and then reapplying to other areas. the Pendant, which is my favorite, and as well as the hat clip for a more FPV video. So what do you guys think about this little camera? In my opinion, again, I love it. And no, I'm not just saying that because I got it for free. Trust me, I can go out and buy this tomorrow, no problem. I love it because it's functional. You don't have to be worried about setting focal lengths, setting aspect ratios. You just hit record, forget about it, and then when you go into the app, then you can do all those changes that you want. Maybe you want it to be linear. Cool. Click linear. Maybe you want it to be wide. No problem. Click wide. Maybe you want it for it to be on Instagram. No problem. You hit 9:16. You can do all that after you've recorded. And that, to me, helps me respect the price that this is at. So what do you guys think about this little camera? Is it worth it? Is it overpriced? Or do the features help you understand why it's priced the way it's priced? There you go. So that's it. This was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.